This is the Moment CINEBLOOM Diffusion filter. I think what every filmmaker struggles with at some point is looking at your kit, always looking for possible places of improvement, whether that be a new lens, a new camera, a different memory card, yada, yada, yada. And me as a filmmaker, I've always looked for, okay, what piece of kit can I add quickly that can change my image? And that's where I wanted to bring up this filter. I love this filter. I have it in the 5% variation. It adds a subtle bit of diffusion that really gives it that popular film look that you see everywhere these days. Especially when I'm shooting on the field for pregame, I don't have a lot of time to go around and go back and switch my kit here and there. So things I can keep on my body and stick in a pocket, I really prioritize. And this CINEBLOOM filter, I can just stick in my back pocket. And you know, if I want to get a little bit more of a cinematic filmic look, I can then just attach it to the front of my lens on whatever lens I'm using that day. And I can get a stylized look compared to the very sharp look you normally get out of a lot of these cameras. What I think this filter has done is it allows me to quickly change the look of my image like that, and I can do it in the middle of a field. If I have it in my pocket, I can just pull it out, change it real quick, and then, you know, go about shooting. So it's very fast, it's very efficient, and for me as a creative that's always on the go, I need that. As for the build of this filter, I treat my gear pretty well, so this filter is held up for me. I don't throw it, I always put it back in the case, yada, yada, yada. But this case, I think, is, you know, one of the key perks and key aspects I like about this filter. The filter fits right in, and it comes with a small microfiber cloth that I just keep in the case. So it's allowed me to keep the filter clean throughout, you know, throughout switching, and, you know, if dirt gets on the lens, I can just quickly clean it off. I live in the Southwest, so there's a lot of dust flying around, and being able to constantly clean my filter is a huge perk, and it was something I never really thought about until, you know, I got that microfiber cloth with this Moment purchase. Especially with other filters, I tend to leave the cases at home because it was just a case in my mind. It didn't hold the microfiber cloth, or I wasn't very careful with it. So I never used to have them in my bag. The filters would get scratched up. But now, especially with this Moment filter case, it's given me the habit that I should have had a while ago. What else can I really say? I do really love the red color. I love the metal feel. The image that it gets, I think the diffusion isn't super powerful. That's why I settled with the 5%. I didn't want something that's over stylized. I just wanted that additional little bit of sauce to like take away the sharpness, not to command the composition. Now in this video, I've only really spoken about the video aspects of this filter. I do photography. It's mainly a personal hobby, and whenever I take photo, I always have this filter on the front of my lens, mainly because I think it adds just a little bit of, you know, diffusion to take away the sharpness, especially with some of the A1 files, especially with some of the Sony cameras. I also think, again, the 5%, it doesn't dramatically change the image. Overall, I think this filter was definitely worth the purchase. For one, it satiates that feeling of, hey, what new gear can I add to my kit? And it allows me to be creative constantly in a state of not always having access to all my gear. Having little pieces of kit like this on my person at all times allows me to change out the look of my image very quickly. And it's a filter that I use a lot more than I would a star filter or a prism filter or other stylized kind of filters. So this is one that it's my go-to. It's one that's always on my lens. I actually haven't used a lot of Moment products prior to purchasing this. After, I bought their CPL filter and other filters as well. So for me, it was like, hey, this was like a really true testament. So I personally can recommend them. No, this video is not sponsored. I probably should have said that earlier, but here it is now. I bought this with my own money. I don't even think Moment knows I exist, but I think this piece of kit was a game changer for me, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is thinking about spending maybe $80 to $100. Should I invest in a filter? Yes, because if worst case scenario, you don't use it immediately, as long as you always have it on your person and you can change up the look of your image, I think that's where the real value comes in. Thank you guys. I appreciate you for watching. Have a good one. Peace.